If you do that, you're going to be in trouble. But you can stand up, stay close to your chair, and I'm going to put some headset here at the front, and feel free to try it. I'm going to try to clean that between each of you guys, but I'm going to be here for a while, so yeah, you should have time to experience that. Sure. All right. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. No, I think we're good. Yeah, thank you. Hey, thank you. Yeah, so Patrick's going to get some of the VR headsets for those who are interested. What we'll do, any other questions right now? I think we've covered a lot. I really appreciate the back and forth, you guys. It's been terrific. So what we're going to do is we do have our team here at Centre Hyundai St. John who can show you some of the electric vehicles inside and out. So while he's getting the VR headsets, maybe we can kind of try and get both on. You can kind of see both experiences. So thank you to our guest speakers, Danielle and Patrick. We appreciate their enthusiasm and knowledge on electric vehicles and that all that is possible with EVs. So now I'd like you to get your hands on our amazing EV lineup that Hyundai offers. We'll have some of our staff with some of the vehicles in the showroom. I guess there's one. It's a beautiful one. We can hear more on features and benefits of these amazing vehicles, and we'll have some available for test drives with some of our dealership team for those interested. Please take a bit of time, make sure you ask some questions, and then once everything's kind of settled, we'll get everyone back to wrap things up. How's that sound? So enjoy the VR, enjoy the vehicles, and we'll give it a few minutes, and then we'll get back together and get everyone on the way. Get those last questions answered.
Don't you hate it when you have one of those days at work? The kind where you're verbally assaulted, spit on, witness a stabbing, put out a fire, literally, and still have to work overtime? If you're a Nova Scotia corrections officer, you know what it's like. Because of inadequate government support, we experience these things daily. It's made a tough job tougher, both physically and mentally. And to add insult to injury, we're the lowest paid in the country. But we don't want sympathy, we just want the government support we so urgently need. A message from the NSGEU.
This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Tesla could soon feel the wrath of the Chinese government, and it all has to do with Elon Musk's politics. The China Passenger Car Association warned that Musk's association with the Trump White House could hurt Tesla's sales, which fell 49% in China last month, though the association says that's because Tesla's retooling its Shanghai plant for the refreshed Model Y. Tesla is counting on the Chinese government to also approve full self-driving. Currently, FSD is available, but it's not as capable as the version sold in the US. And Tesla needs access to Chinese road data to train the system. But if the Chinese government decides to punish Tesla in retaliation to Trump's tariffs, it could really hurt the automaker. New car sales in China saw a slight gain of 1.3% for the first 2 months of the year, largely thanks to a Cash for Clunkers program where owners get a subsidy for trading in their old car for a new energy vehicle. Analysts like to measure sales for January and February combined because the Chinese New Year can fall in either month and car sales plummet while the country is on vacation. So by combining sales for both months, you get a clearer picture of what's going on in the marketplace. And thanks to the Cash for Clunkers subsidy program, NEV sales were up nearly 80%. And yet, ICE-powered vehicles outsold them for the third month in a row, accounting for 51.2% of the market. And that makes us wonder if the NEV segment has started to hit a plateau. There are 18,311 new car dealerships in the US right now, which is up 171 from a year ago. Brands like Chevrolet, GMC, Mazda, and Porsche added stores. Together, they own 29,829 franchises, which was actually down slightly. But Automotive News reports that the average dealership sold 511 vehicles for the year, 28 more than last year. Topping the list was Toyota, with its average dealership selling over 1,600 vehicles. Lexus, BMW, Honda, and Subaru have the next highest sales per dealership. They all sell over 1,000 vehicles a year. To get higher sales per dealer, some brands are reducing the number of dealers they have, like Buick, Ford, Lincoln, and Jaguar. However, that's expensive to do. GM spent $1 billion last year buying out some of its Buick dealers. Ford is struggling in Europe, announcing thousands of job cuts to help reduce costs. But now the automaker is making a big commitment to turn around its German operations with plans to inject $4.7 billion into the business. John Lawler, the vice chair of Ford, said in a statement that the company needs to, quote, continue to simplify our governance, reduce costs, and drive efficiencies. Lawler also called on EU leaders to create a clear agenda to promote EVs and bring emissions more in line with customer demand.
Developing today's vehicles, issues can happen in an instant. What good is knowing your problems without the data to solve them? Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure off-the-shelf solution, empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution, in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Tesla is being investigated by Canada's Transport Authority over a suspicious amount of requests for EV rebates. The government program offered Canadian buyers a $5,000 incentive for purchasing an EV, which was supposed to run out in the middle of this month. But officials announced that the money was going away at the end of January because more people were taking advantage of the program than they thought would. Now Tesla is coming under fire because 4 of its company-owned stores in Canada requested rebates for over 8,650 vehicles in the final 3 days that the incentive was offered. That means those stores would have sold about 1 Tesla every minute, 24 hours a day for 3 days straight. Now, it is possible that the company was just submitting the requests all at once, even for vehicles that had already been sold. But those requests amounted to over $43 million, or more than half of the total remaining funds for the EV incentive program. And that means requests filed by other dealers might not get reimbursed. The Canadian Automobile Dealers Association says nearly 3,000 requests from its dealers haven't been paid back yet, which could leave them on the hook for about $10 million. So obviously they're not happy and hope officials will step in to help. Volkswagen is already dealing with slumping passenger car sales, and now its truck unit Stratton warns that its sales could be weak this year. It's forecasting sales to be down as much as 5% or up as much as 5% compared to a year ago. And Stratton's cautious outlook sent its shares down. Daimler and Volvo truck shares also fell on the news. But in one bright spot for the truck maker, Stratton says it doesn't expect a significant impact from President Trump's tariffs in the short term, even though 65% of the trucks it sells in the U.S. are made in Mexico. Ever since Porsche came out with an update for the Taycan, which included performance and range improvements, prices for used models have been falling fast, and in some cases, they're half of the original MSRP. Secondhand examples can be